the rules now make it a little bit easier. Quarterbacks now complete 68, 70% of their throws. So it is a little easier to be at least competent at that position. But there are intangibles and toughness and in-game intelligence that you can't measure. And when I watched Dak, that was a game yesterday, Jimmy. It was very losable. A lot of penalties. Defense gave up a bad touchdown. I don't know. I said it wasn't Dak's best game, but I looked at him and I thought, you know what? You don't win that game with every quarterback. You don't go to New England and have 12 penalties and turnovers. Just if you could talk about Dak's growth and what you've seen over the last several years.
Colin, I think the thing that I'm most impressed with is his accuracy. He is so much more accurate right now than what he was when he first came in the league. And in fact, I talked to Troy Aikman about it, his first year or two. I said, Troy, is this something you think can improve? And he said, I don't know. Usually when a quarterback's not accurate, it doesn't get a whole lot better. But he is a very accurate passer. Now, his protection allows him to be accurate. Sure. A lot of times when he's harassed and he's under pressure, he throws some off-target throws. But I think that's the thing. He's always been a great leader. He's always been a great worker. He's a physical quarterback. But the accuracy has improved significantly over the last couple of years.
Jimmy, as you know, there's a lot of talent around American football, but it is hard to find a great corner. There's not a lot of them. Even when you had the Miami Hurricanes and the Cowboys, and you were known as a brilliant, personnel guy, those corners are gold bars. There's not many of them. This Trayvon Diggs, holy moly, he just jumps out of the television, does he not?
He jumps out of the television, and he will jump some routes as well. As he found out on that last touchdown by New England, he tried to jump the route. But I think what's happening, Colin, is the great athletes, the great players in college, they're all at receiver. They're not playing cornerback.
Right.
And so the emphasis in college is air raid football, get those great players at wide receiver, and not at cornerback. So I think the emphasis in college is what's taken away some of the outstanding cornerbacks that we saw years ago.
Yeah. I want to talk about the Miami Dolphins, a franchise you coach. They Brian Flores beat the rookie Mac Jones in week 1, and I got to tell you, they're just struggling. I thought Brian struggled. I'm not blaming Tua. I thought he was fine this weekend. But kind of take me to what you see with the Dolphins. What is happening? Because sometimes right now, Jimmy, there have been ugly moments and ugly losses.
Yeah, and some very disappointing losses for the Dolphin fans down here. A couple of questionable challenges yesterday in the ball game cost them a couple of timeouts. An inconsistent running game. I really like what Brian Flores was doing a year ago, and this year, things just hadn't fallen into place. Obviously, Tua, not being healthy, that probably hurt him a few games, and I think the jury's still out on just how good Tua is.
Right. The jury is not out on Lamar Jackson, who is so dynamic. Jimmy, how would you have defended him? What would your game plan have been?
My game plan would have been start working on next week's game plan. The guy is phenomenal. At one time I thought his style of play was, he's going to get banged up, he's going to get hurt. Plus, I don't know how good he is throwing the football. Well, he's showing he can throw the football as good as any of them. And he's not taking the hits now. He looks like he's going to stay healthy. He's the most exciting player in the league without question. Yeah. And then I think John Harbaugh's done a great job with him as far as utilizing his talents. And you look at all the injuries they've had on offense, all those running backs out, and Lamar's still taking them down the field and scoring points. He's phenomenal.
You know, it's interesting. We were talking. I said this a couple of weeks ago, Jimmy. I said, if you're the general manager of Cleveland and the coach, I said this 2 weeks ago, that Baker Mayfield's going to play against Lamar and Herbert and Kyler and Burrow and Mac Jones, his contemporaries, young guys. So if you're a GM and you don't expect Baker Mayfield to be Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson. That's different. They've been in the league. But you're going to see him up against the guys he's going to face for the next 10 years. And yesterday, you watch Kyler and Baker, and it's not the same, Jimmy. I mean, it's just not.
Yeah.
You get to a point. What do you do with Baker?
I've got to be careful because when he was 10 years old, he came out to the Big Chill and I signed an autograph for him. I didn't even know who he was. I don't know. I know he's got a shoulder problem. You look at him and you look at his body of work, since he's been there, he truly is just a game manager. He's not someone that can carry a football team. You've got to be really good in all areas around him and on defense to win a championship. But I think you can win a championship with him if, like I said, you're very good around him. He's been protected with an outstanding running game. Now Chubb's hurt. Hunt could be hurt now. So I don't know if the running game will protect him now. But, just like every other, time I talk to general managers or coaches, they say, well, this guy that we have is not good enough. I say, well, you don't get rid of him until you find somebody better.
That's right. It's interesting. When you were in Miami, and I always think this is a rough situation for coaches. So when you were in Miami, you had an old Dan Marino, and he's a legend. He's rich. He's got a legacy. He's got pride, and you got to move off those guys, and it's hard. And now Mike Tomlin is dealing with Big Ben, and they're going through coordinators, they're rebuilding, and it's just not pretty. That game, you can't almost lose to Geno Smith at home. And I look at that, and could you give me, you had to deal with this with Marino. How do you walk around this thing and move off Ben and not blow up a locker room? What do you do? How do you do it?
I don't know. I wish I knew. As far as Ben, again, I think they made a mistake here in the last couple of years not preparing for the future. They could see that Ben's skills were diminishing, and they could see that he was getting banged up. He's taken a lot of hits over the years, and it's really had an effect on him. He's not anywhere close. But remember, years ago, Ben was as good, if not better, than anybody in the league as far as extending plays.
Yeah.
They would try to tackle him. He'd spin out. He would throw the ball down the field, make some great plays because they couldn't get him on the ground. Well, that's not happening now. Ben's throwing the little check downs and getting rid of the ball because, he's really a statue back there. And, again, the Steelers should have prepared for this years ago. Because I don't know that Mason Rudolph is the guy.
Right.
I don't know that they have a successor to, Big Ben.
I want to circle back to the Cowboy-Patriot game and your friend Bill Belichick. And we were saying this morning as we prepared for the show. We knew there'd be a building process post-Tom. But the reality is that Tom extended drives. So your defense wasn't on the field as much. And Tom audibled you out of, trouble. And that sometimes you don't even realize when you have a great quarterback the issues that will surface because he kept you out of those issues. And I look at Belichick now and I think, God, they're getting punts blocked, giving up 500 yards. Their defense looks gassed. And do you think Bill? Right. And I think to myself, well, you don't know a problem until you have a problem. And I think, do you think Belichick sitting down there thinking, this is a little bumpier than I thought it would be?
Well, I look at the game and I try to be objective about it. And, just like, you look at the game yesterday, it's pretty obvious that the Cowboys are significantly more talented than the Patriots.
Right.
The Patriots are playing a rookie quarterback. That tells you enough right there. But it also tells you about the coaching of Bill Belichick. They're one play in overtime away from beating the Cowboys.
Yeah.
They're one field goal away from beating the Buccaneers. they're one play away from winning their opener against the Dolphins, the fumble. And so really, they are close, and they are close with a lot less talent than some of the teams they're playing. So they will be fine in time. And in fact, I was impressed with Mac Jones. They will be fine in time. But again, it's a grind right now with a rebuilding type process in New England.
Jimmy, you look great. The Hall of Famer, Jimmy Johnson. We love when he comes on the show down in the Keys. Absolute pleasure, Jimmy. Thank you so much.
All right. Good talking with you, Colin.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.